Welcome back, everybody, to OSL Season 3, Day 2, Series 3, Set 1, Half 1, as we are finally jumping into Leopard versus Sadness. How exciting. It's been a long time in the waiting. And you know what? I think, even though we've had fantastic games tonight, I think Leopard vs. Sadness is going to be the set to beat tonight because there are some absolutely fantastic players going up against each other. And you know what? There's a couple of new players that are returning as well. I say new players that are returning. I say old players that are returning. I'm hoping to see some. Oh, just as a great example, Pep's gameplay is exactly what I want to see. So I'm excited to see some old survivors returning from the past. So it's going to be very, very awesome. But we see Freya, who will be loading in on the dredge. So let's see what we can do as we load in for our dredge set.
Yeah, and so I was actually grabbing a really early nice stun there. It's actually going to delay this first hit by a good amount, which, if you weren't familiar with the dredge balancing for Season 3, we do have the Field Recorder, which is the exhaustion add-on allowed. But then, of course, to balance it out, that we've kind of like given our survivors the exhaustion, or rather, we're given the exhaustion, so to balance it out, we're getting Field Recorder. So, I think it's actually a little bit interesting that we see the Corrupt pick coming in for Ferry here, because in the previous dredge sets, we've actually seen a little bit of choice in the matter of whether Corrupt is necessary or not. But oh, there we go, the tie net coming in and getting Winterfell over that pallet as Ferry actually breaks away, trying to cut off maybe other survivors. Seems like it's successful, and wow, okay, Freya suddenly managing to convert this into a little bit of pressure.
And, you know, this early, that's exactly what you want because the dredge set can get so easily out of hand. But you know what? If you don't convert the first series of power into a down, then you really start to have problems. And it happens very, very quickly because the dredge is so heavily defined by their power. The problem is if you don't capitalize on the first 60, 90 seconds, whatever it is, you are going to seriously start having some problems. And it can get scarily out of hand, scarily quickly for our killer. But hey, we're able to get a very nice down onto Peps and a very nice injure onto 2K. So very, very nice start. As we see a very horribly placed generator in the courtyard. So hopefully we're able to get some good value going into this mid game, and I'm very, very excited to see what we can do from our survivor side. Is to see Peps, the survivor who I've been very, very keen to see, will be taking the next chase. Nice read from Peps. We'll be able to get back to that room he started in and hopefully get a clutch chase coming through here.
Yeah, hopefully he can, but oh, he gets stuck a little bit on the bench. Those old fingers, unfortunately, scrabbling on the keyboard. I don't want to make it sound like an insult, but yeah, that's a bit of an interesting Vol coming. Unfortunately, a little bit ambitious on Pepsi will force him onto the second hook and second stage of the trial. As we do see a gem pop, but is it really enough pressure? I have to ask myself, because again, this courtyard gen isn't really that near completion, and pop goes the weasel again, being applied to this as well as the eruption as well, is just going to set it back by a very good amount. Winterfell forced to drop on Godfiller, make it away. But courtyard is something that I find one of the most weird generators to work, because it's kind of hard to tell where the dredge is going to come from. And then there's also the problem of, hey, I'm DPD, I'm going to spawn 2 generators in the courtyard for absolutely no reason. So luckily our survivors only got 1, but Posey's going to take a tag here as this pallet just already been used by Winterfell. But oh my, Fair actually goes back to the hook, trying to anticipate and cut off a rotation. That's actually do so. And yeah, maybe Pepsi might be in a little bit of trouble though.
I have to go back to that point that you just said. I don't think I've ever seen 2 generators spawn in the courtyard. Is that something that can happen?
Oh, I was playing Wesker pubs. Very rare thing that I play pubs, but yeah, there was actually 2 gens in the courtyard. It's ridiculous.
What? Never seen that before. I had no idea that could happen. That must be the best thing ever for you, having 2 gens in the courtyard.
Yeah.
That's the most horrible thing I'd ever seen. If I was Survivor and that happened to me, that would piss me off like crazy. But luckily for our survivors, as you said, that doesn't happen for them. Unfortunately, though, Pep's already out of the trial. You blink and he's gone. And that's really unfortunate. I was really excited to see more of Pep's. And you know what? Going down early in the dredge set, it can be a little bit deceiving. You know, he didn't play that poorly, but then those two following chases, yeah, unfortunately, a couple of mistakes there, but all you can do is try your best, man. So it's really fun. But Ayado will be able to make it out of here with a sneaky little stun there onto our dredge. But unfortunately, a really nice conversion by Freya does stop Ayado from getting anywhere. So very, very well played from our super dredge player there.
Yeah, Freya kind of showing a little bit of adeptness on these strange killers. I think I've seen them play another strange killer. I don't want to say the other keyword on stream, but yeah, Judge, I guess you can add this to their menu because I think they're doing fairly well. Playing a little bit safer, I would say, is fair because I haven't really gone for any kind of outlandish plays or like really confident plays. Which we do see, maybe a little bit more experienced Judge players do like maybe they go for like a couple of slugs, a couple of eruption gigs. I don't know. Just that the slugs, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. But they're still holding their own here with this 2 generators remaining to defend. Is still a very good position. So it's going to be an unhook coming in, and we'll have to see what Fair decides to do because if they do chase out our Nair here, who I believe does not have balance landing, then you leave the other 2 survivors who are healthy, who can stealth fairly nicely, remaining in the trial and potentially go and get another generator done. But let's say the second hook, and that might be a little bit of trouble in the basement to try and pull. So I'm not sure how survivors are going to tackle it myself, but I think they should just double split and play it really patient because the dredge really can't do that much. I think if you're healthy, it's really hard to take a chase onto a survivor.
And you're exactly right. Once you lose that first field recorder bonus of the game, it can just go out of hand so quickly. Oh, we see a very late bot as well. Matter because we get a really nice read onto our ace here. Very nice from Freya. You can see that this person's been practicing dredge a fair bit, and honestly, it is paying off. Oh no, I say that. And the moment I say that, they teleport into basement and make a mistake. Bloody hell. But we do see a reset coming through onto our survivors here, and that's going to be a bit of a sloppy hit there. Unfortunately, we heard the break from the heal, and we're going to continue taking the chase onto our Nia here. This is going to be Ayado who will be taking the next chase off the game and might be able to do a little bit of an outplay here. Do we see the vault? We do see the vault coming through. We go for a vault back. Unfortunately, we are going to see that down there, and we will see a slug as well as we continue the chase into this game. Now, Freya playing absolutely fantastic, but you know, Dredge is one of those sets where you expect gens not to get completed, and that's really normal. A 4K2, it can definitely happen. All it takes is maybe one rough game of this, one rough chase at the start, one rough chase to follow after, and all of a sudden the survivor team have immense problems. It is just gets out of hand so unbelievably quickly. But all you can do is try your best, and that's what the survivors are doing. So mad shout out.
I feel like Freya's still looking for a little bit of a slug. Maybe not a slug, maybe I should say he's looking a little bit for a Wienerfell, since Slug is not currently playing on the side of survivors of Sadness, but he does instead find a Posey trying to loop this god. I think it's a God Palace setup. Maybe I'm wrong. No, there aren't God Palace here. Just going upstairs, maybe trying to find a little bit of safety around here. Might be able to do so. I don't think there's anything strong. We saw, I think, the God windows below had spawned in, so really can't be anything up here, but that's an insta-vault coming through and a down for Freya. So I think should all be set up here for a slug, or rather a Posey, but again, Posey gets picked up and hooked, so Freya, again, just wants to maybe just secure a bit of knowledge about where Posey might be if the unhook does occur, but still doesn't really know where Wienerfell is. Just as I say that, Wienerfell is going to get found at I believe 7 up, and that really is going to be the end of the trial. Wienerfell doesn't have anything completely safe to play with. Has to play the piano, but you're not going to play this against a dredge. It doesn't matter which dredge you're playing against, you're not ever going to get out alive. So yeah, that's going to be a 4K2 result for Freya. I think something that they're looking to try and achieve, as I believe maybe a year ago, I think the average on dredge was like 4K1 or maybe like 4K 0.5. But yeah, 4K2, much better performance coming in from Leopard. So yeah, really well played from Leopard.
Yeah, and honestly, this is just fantastic. This is exactly what you want to see. Just a great setting score to get us off to start with. That means that we need to see a 4K3 from our Dredge from Sadness. So gonna be a lot of pressure to try and keep up with that one. But I'm very excited to see what they can pull out. And so gonna see the Leopard survivors come on out to play. Make sure to stick around. We'll be back with you in just a few minutes as we set up the next half of the Dredge set.
All right, everyone, welcome back to our second half of the Dredge set. Now, this is, of course, Leopard's pick, and they did get a 4K2, which is, in my opinion, a very, very solid and good result. So now, uh, what is Sadness going to do about it? We'll have to see, because I've been informed by one of match staff, actually, not necessarily just match staff, but been informed that Wienerfeld's build is a little bit more spicy than some of the chili that I might have had in Singapore. So I'm not sure how it will go because it really is up to Wienerfeld to bring this back to penalty and map restart. So. From you to me 2K years ago, whatever. Mr. Wienerfell. Hello, everyone. Back after Wienerfell. I think it's the correct map. Hopefully, it is going to be the case this time. And yeah. Again, I was gonna reiterate that he was gonna bring a spicy build, spicier than some of the stuff that I had in Singapore. But I think I'll have to watch and see for myself as yeah, I don't really know what kind of stuff he's been playing with, but surely it's more than fire. So yeah, let's load in and Stasi, let's just appreciate Winterfell's build here.
Yes, as you're. Oh, that's not that crazy. Come on. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit abnormal, but I don't think it's that absolutely crazy. I mean, it's not like Dredgen is corrupt to start or anything, but we do find basically the one survival we don't want to find. We find the survival with Sprint Burst, which seems to be a very common theme in these sets. As we see, No Score will be taking the first chase, does drop that pallet for free, does able to chain it into the window into the classroom for free and does get a lot of value here. Unfortunately, we're running back to a bit of a dead zone. I think there might have been a comm to stay away from Deep Six, but that's okay because we're actually able to make it to the 11 God pallet as well. So that's very, very nice from our survivor here. And oh no, I don't know what that was. No Score, unfortunately, does give quite a quick hit there. And oh no, all of our survivors haven't even rotated. That's going to be B1 in the background who's going to be trying to rotate. And No Score will be trying to take this to a good location, but is able to actually keep it onto this top side, which is very, very nice. This is exactly where we want the chase to be, especially to keep away from our rotating survivors. And we actually force away. We're able to force away very, very nicely and head towards this top. I do believe this is top 7 room, so we're able to put a lot of pressure on the board as well. No Score having quite a solid chase to start out with. And oh, No Score, no, that could have been so good if you just went to the ballot. It's really disappointing, but you know what? Very, very good effort. Ran out the entire power. Was able to get our team off to a really good start. We see two gens already highly progressed. Very good effort by No Score. Honestly, that could have been an absolutely clutch chase, but it wasn't a bad one to start us off with.
It was actually fairly solid. I mean, my mental clock says like is around 1 or 1.5 minutes past for that down to happen, which is a really good amount of time. But they're actually going to be rewarded for this early pull with an FTP from A1Q Austin, taking that little bit of aggro and sharing it back, well, sharing it to himself, and taking it from No Score, of course. But yeah, that's a first gen popping in the background for pretty much only just like one hook, one sloppy tag, and a broken, which is really, really good stuff here coming in from Leopard. So they're really ready to make this Wink edition, which was set previously. But No Score's being found again with Sprint Burst, and Wienerfell is giving him a little bit of extra value from that, and decides to leave, I think, after his very embarrassing play. He makes another embarrassing play here, going into the basement. Unfortunate little teleport, but yeah, look at how highly, rather not look, hear how highly progressed that gen is. That is very, very close to being done, and yes, things are starting to go a little bit south or north or east or west, because I don't know where the hell we are on this map for Wienerfell.
Yeah, and honestly, we need to just kick this game into high pressure as we have a difficult win con ahead of us. We need to lock in like crazy. Winterfell, speed it up. Liberty step Helldiver, because we are behind and we need this 4K3 to walk out the win here. We will continue the next chase of A1Q, who will go for... Oh my god, what are we doing? I thought we were going to go for an instant drop, but no. Instead, we decide to get shit on, and A1Q will be taking the gen there. But that's okay, because there's still is room for error. We don't want to get 4K2 though. We don't want to give a tie. We need to secure this win if we're going to walk out with a 2-0 win. So let's see whether we can put that pressure on the board and force ourselves into that position as we see the next generator of the trial does proc. That's going to secure us at the very worst 4K3. One more gen to pop to tie, 2 more to win.
Ooh, 2 more to win is a fairly tall order for Winterfell to do because he needs to kill everyone before that well, really 3rd gen pops if he wants to try and take away this first set. But yeah, look, at least if they do if they do not win this set, they still can push it to the 2nd set of the Ghostface, which is another indoor map. I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, depending whom you are out there, or who you are. Actually, that was bad grammar by me. But yeah, first set definitely going to be fairly decisive. Oh, okay, Winterfell though does take a nice little down onto A1Q, and suddenly things are not looking so fairly. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's the win condition, and Leopard's taking this first set, Starzy.
No, and you're exactly right. And you know what? It's not really a surprise because Leopard has been versing our Dredge Killer in quite a few scrims recently. They were preparing for this set, and I heard from my Dredge Killer, and they were, I say my Dredge Killer, everyone knows it's Cash, but Cash was playing, that these guys were playing absolutely fantastic. They were very, very good in the Dredge set, and it shows. It really shows in these scrims. They have been putting a lot of effort into making sure they're able to clutch up here. So well done to our Leopard survivors, guys. You are playing absolutely fantastic, and nobody is surprised that you're able to take this first set. But the second set is a Ghostface set, which might be a little bit more scary. I think we're going to see that a little bit more favored towards our other team here, so it might be a little bit more difficult for Leopard to beat or Sadness here. Maybe we'll be seeing a 1-1, maybe we'll be seeing another 3rd set tonight. Who knows? Very excited to see what happens. But regardless, massive shout out to our Leopard team, able to walk out with the 1-0 win early. Always good to get an early start as we will be continuing the chase on the top 3 side.
Yeah, and like they're still in such a nice position to go for, you know, a really low stage, try and get some outs out of the door. That's a bit of a tautology, isn't it? But yeah, try and get some outs and boost their confidence for this Ghostface set because, you know, I kind of have to be honest, like some of the skill sets that you need for a Ghostface set are kind of similar to Dredge sets, you know, like both playing on like awkward tiles, playing indoor maps, and having good comms is really important on both sets. And if Austin gets down here, I think Winterfell is just going to concede and take the pick up. Yeah, okay, that's going to be the case. And just get a couple more hook stages on the board to maybe push it a little bit further. But yeah, going to Ghostface is honestly a set that I really love watching. Commentating myself, I think, is really difficult on the Ghostface set, simply because of the well, the dynamic of it. There's like so much going on in the Ghostface set, but I find Dredge a little bit more simple and calming for myself anyway.
No, well, I mean, I wouldn't say Dredge is exactly a simple set. There is a lot of horrifying complexity, I would say, when it comes to the first probably 90 minutes. 90 minutes. Oh my god, imagine a set that lasts 90 minutes. 90 seconds to the set. That can be absolutely horrifying. The Dredge, whenever within power, is just such a technical game, and it forces you to play completely differently. But honestly, both teams as well are putting up a really good fight, especially our Survivor squad. Absolutely doing fantastic, guys. We're almost definite that we're going to be seeing outs here. Possibly might be seeing a 4-out, which would be very exciting. But we'll have to see what we can do here as we find 2 survivors are healthy here. See if we can take the chase towards the 3 side of the map once again, as we will be taking our first hit onto Zarina. Oh no, dude, first hit onto Zarina.
Yeah, and I think Zarina was fresh, so it really isn't that much of a big deal if they take the hit. But just to say that, of course, the last gen pops, so it doesn't really matter if they did down the hook or not. And yeah, looking at a very low single-digit performances coming in from Leopard, which is really good to see. And Ace though, I believe this is Bayonet. I believe this is Thomas. Yes, takes an M1 and just heads back towards this bot side to try and get it out of the gate. But unfortunately, Yoichi no score going to be caught out. So I think that's going to secure what I believe is 5-stage result with this pickup. As we see the Survivor's Leap, that is 5 stages in the Dredge. So yeah, really contrasting performance coming in, but it's fairly decisive victory for Leopard. So hopefully Sanders can pick up their game for this Ghostface set, Stasi.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see the tipping is much more in favor of Sadness for that one. So it will be very, very cool to see whether they can walk out with a 1-1. Force the tiebreaker will be super awesome. But regardless, we'll be heading into the break here. So we'll be back in just a few minutes as we set up for the Ghostface set.
Okay, peekaboo, hello. We're into a Ghostface set, everyone. First time we've seen a Ghostface set in a very similar amount of time. Yeah, a couple of millennia, if I recall correctly. Yeah, we had a Ghostface set, I think, like Sanity versus Carnage, or like Sanity versus Sadness back in the season 1. If anyone does remember that. But we're back with another Ghostface set, and hopefully we see maybe a couple of the strategies change here, because I definitely considered that Ghostface is a more outable set than maybe what was the case a couple of years ago. So I'm not really as much of a veteran as Stasi is in the comp scene. I only joined a year ago, but what do you think of the build that Wienerfeld's brought in?
Yeah, it's funny. You say I'm a veteran, and it's amazing to think how long I've actually been in the comp scene. I don't want to make this all about myself. Love the community. But oh my god, I've been around for such a long time. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Oh, 1Q, we can't be stealthing there. That's bad. That's very bad. You know, 1Q, that's bad. That's not a good start. Oh, Q, we're throwing A1Q. No, that's such a bad start. Oh my god. You can't really get much worse than that for a start. That's pretty unfortunate. Love you, A1Q. Come back for a good second chase. You can do it. But yeah, it's very, very well done. But regardless, we see the survivors will be continuing into the next part of the game. So, yes, been around for a long time. Honestly, I feel absolutely fine about this build. And the reason why is because Sloppy is going to be very, very powerful on a stealth killer. When you have an indoor map, you have a stealth killer, Sloppy is just that much more powerful. You need to be that much more switched in on the comms. And Thomas has already given 55% of a stealth here, so this is a little bit awkward. We do have the access to God Filler here, but Thomas will be ready to be one hit, so gonna have to play very, very careful. And yep, no surprise here, we're gonna leave. So let's see what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, look, on the side of the survivors, it's not all grim. Wienerfeld has lost 1.25 perks, so you know, it's a little bit extra there from that first chase, but it's still really rough, because you know, you'd expect maybe even like a generator's worth of progress to pop for the first chase. I think was the idea back a year ago, but really nothing close to being such numbers, as we do find this generator here on this top side have a good amount of percent. You can hear that generator gurgling away, but it seems like gonna be Mr. Thomas here getting caught out on this little one tile. It's not really gonna be too safe here. You can see Wienerfeld's getting nice little angles through that, and Thomas isn't able to reveal Ghostface, so that's really a big deal coming in. That's a 10% movement speed as well for 5 seconds, and this could spell trouble because there is a bit of ping between these regions. Can Wienerfeld get this down? Is Thomas patient enough on this 11 pallet? Oh my god, it all comes down to this, but Thomas goes for the vault, goes away. Okay, that was such a close moment there. That was like one of the most important downs, I think, of this trial, if not like compared to the first one. But like, man, if Thomas can last this entire power, that would be insane.
Yeah, unfortunately, Thomas isn't the one in chase here, but still, we do see that it is B1 who is in chase here. But I'm also a Thomas fan. Mad respect to Thomas. Was able to come back with a great Blight set last week. Actually, if anyone remembers Thomas's Blight set last week, absolutely fantastic. Massive shout out to Thomas. Big Thomas fan right here. Thomas Glazer. Oh, no, unfortunately, though, Thomas did just get caught a little bit on the stealth. Will be 90%, as we are almost going to drop this Godfiller. I think Thomas is going to have to force it out, but oh no, we're running into the wrong spot here. I don't think we'll have the chance. It's going to be very difficult. 99 Thomas is. So we're going to have to absolutely clutch up here. We're going to have to drop this pallet and see if we can make it around to the Godfiller. I don't think we're going to be able to, though, as we are going to be taking this down. We see Thomas does end up going down here. That is going to be an eruption as well, just in time to avoid that gen. And Thomas does take the down on the Godfiller, unfortunately. So, Thomas, good effort, but hopefully we're able to clutch up for a second chase, and we do continue into the mid portion of this game as we get another Scourge Hook to get us into a great spot of pressure. And right now, there is still 4 gens left in the trial. 2 hooks already happened, 2 Scourge Hooks gone, so we're losing a little bit of resources, but we're still in a strong position. This game could easily swing either way.
It still could. I feel like Winterfell could have maybe extracted a little bit more from the start, though. But I mean, he still converted fairly well. 2 hooks for 1 generator. It's all right, but I don't know. I still feel like he could eke a little bit more. But it's going to be Baronet. Sorry. When I was saying Thomas, I actually meant to say Ivy. I think because I think Ivy's the one missing little bit of survivor that I guess I forgot to think of when I said Thomas. But yeah, Ivy gets a stun for 25% and forces Winterfell a little bit away from the generator setup. So now he goes back into the Night Shroud, just trying to maybe catch out Ivy. Potentially the next target. But, oh no, he is being spotted actually on this little bit of a bathroom tile and might give away a sloppy tag. But this is all a good amount of time waste. Like we've not chased Ivy before. Oh my lord. Okay, Winterfell, that was not intended, but this is a good amount of time waste. Like Ivy's kind of clutching up here on this Ghostface set. He's forced Winterfell to like overcommit a little bit onto trying to get a tag or a down or like a bit of stalk onto Ivy, and it's just really not working out. We saw him completely run out that first power, and although this one might be a little bit more difficult because he's 80% next to not that much, it's like still again a good amount of time waste. And you can see that with the second gen popping. It's just now things are starting to kind of weigh Winterfell down from what I thought was a very, very optimal start from him.
Because I will continue to see this trial go into the middle area. Now we do have B1 who will be still 1 hit here. Unfortunately, this is going to be a very, very difficult spot to get out of for some of our survivors. But Thomas still sitting at about 40%. Will have a lot of time to work with, and No Score will be taking that as chase as well. So we have basically every survivor will be sitting on a portion of their radius here, their portion of their Ghostface radius, who's going to be putting a lot of pressure on us. And we do still have access to this God Filler as well. A1Q won't be able to unfortunately make it. It was very, very close. But unfortunately, did end up giving the M1 here, which I think is absolutely fine. I think you can rotate around for the reset. And from you here, well, Winterfell will be rotating towards the bottom side. As we see, someone who is sitting on that gen there will be giving a little bit of free stalk value. So it's a little bit rough there. Can't quite avoid the Ghostface comms. Unfortunately, this is one of those sets where the comms need to be absolutely killer. But we do see a nice God Filler drop there. Will buy us a little bit of time. And Residual Manifest as well, giving us a tiny bit of value, I suppose. And no one's going to be coming in for this hit. But we do see A1Q able to make it for this second chase here. Very, very nice. Actually able to buy some time as well, as we see the God Filler drop. And this is going to be a lot of this area of the map, a lot of this very strong area has been finally getting dropped.
Yeah, I mean, the spot side is kind of coming a little bit sparse of pallets, but like kind of doesn't matter because I feel like the gens are split up enough that really our survivors could find a bit of safety anywhere. But No Score goes down on this top side, unfortunately, without anything too safe to work with, and Winterfell should be able to get another special going on the board. So like, is this the third hook of the trial? Doesn't seem so like Starzy. Is this really the third hook? Oh my god.
Yeah, that's going to be another fresh as well. So, unfortunately, I think we are going to see... Ghostface sets are going to be very strange because we're going to see either really high or really low sets here in terms of stages, sorry. So, it's going to be a very strange one because we don't really see many Ghostface sets. This is going to be one of the abnormal sets that you're going to see that either they're going to be absolutely fantastic survivors or a fantastic killer. And that's, honestly, completely normal, and that's absolutely fine. But we are going to see that it's definitely tilted towards the survivors today, and hopefully the Leopard team swap is able to clutch up as much as possible. But we do see Thomas is sitting at 70% here, and likely we'll be seeing a lot of outs come through here as we see all four teammates get out straight away. So very well played. But we'll be going into the next half of the set where we'll possibly be seeing a 2-0. So make sure to stick around. We'll be right back with you in just a couple minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to OSL Season 3 and what might be the final game of today. We have the second half of the Ghostface set, which has so far been very, very scary for our killer here, which was Winterfell. So Sadness having a little bit of a rough time last game. Hopefully able to clutch up for this one. And unfortunately, Ghostface is going to be one of those sets that's going to be heavily favored to one team or one side. So we might see the survivors excel and the killers struggle. But honestly, I'm just really excited to see what we can pull out. Ghostface sets might be a little bit crazy. So hopefully we're able to see clutch up. And we see Dragon's Grip on this build as well. I'm very excited to see what we can do with Dragon's Grip. But we'll see what happens as you see Freya load in on the Ghostface.
Yeah, I wanted to make some kind of like uncomfortable sound about the Dragon's Grip pick that Fair did bring in, but seems like okay, it's gonna be a nice little altruism from Winterfell to break out Freya. But yeah, Dragon's Grip definitely it's a perk you can bring. I'm not going to deny that. It's definitely a perk that you can bring. And it's a perk that you can bring. But whether it's effective on a Ghostface set is not something that I've actually ever seen, which is very strange since I've seen quite a bit of Ghostface in my time in comp. So after a bit of a slow start here, takes the tag onto Winterfell, but really not for that much. Like Winterfell only gave away like a non-sloppy tag, no pallet either, just for Freya to retreat back to his top side, and that's a reset coming in too. So Santa's definitely on top of the macro, I guess, so nice punishment. But okay, just like I said, that Freya manages to catch out, I think, the reset position, gets so much stalk onto these survivors. That's 50% onto Winterfell, and full stalk onto Posey. I don't think that was intentional, but that's going to put the pressure back onto the survivors as Freya's out here for Posey, I guess, for blood. But I should stop saying that because Posey is not injured, so I guess Freya is just going to stop to play a little bit more passive here and try and use the Night Shroud a bit, and then he gets broken out and he gets a tag. But wow, I mean, what the hell is going on, Starzy?
It's just really poor gameplay from our survivors so far. It's always disappointing to see a free hit come through, and a hit like that from Sin is just absolutely not what you want. You can't really afford to be letting anything like that come through, especially with such a difficult win con. You really need to be able to clutch up here and force every hook stage to be such a slog for the killer. But when you're playing like that, you're gonna have a really rough one. And yeah, Sin's just gonna drop this as well, and now be put in a really rough position because these are some very good pallets that have already been dropped, and almost feels like we've kind of given the killer a little bit too much leeway, to be honest, to actually do well. So hopefully we're able to really start going a bit crazy here. Maybe we can drag this pallet out for longer than it needs to be. Can we go for another rotation? We can. Very nice. We will be able to rotate around once again. We'll likely be seeing the drop we do, but unfortunately we're put into a really difficult position, and this will be Sin going down here, and we're not going to be able to really capitalize on that anymore. But a very, very good effort from Sin. But we do see the down coming through, and that will be the first gen of the trial procs in the background, and another one is sitting at about 70.
Yeah, the solo gen is very close to being completed, but it got hit by Eruption before we heard, I believe, the Jake or the Ace getting screamed off it, and now Freya is going to successfully interrupt it with an additional Pain Resonance and even get a slight little bit of stalk onto Posey in the process. A little bit of a nice signing on bonus for Freya, but it's still, again, just only playing for a couple more stages, 3 more to secure the victory 2-0 over Sadness, and it's really tough here on the survivor side. Like, it was a good first chase and all, I guess. The first down came in after first gen, but somehow Leopard managed to have that really, really early first down coming in, and somehow managed to take away 3 stages. I just feel that Winterfell did not have the lethality coming in. So Freya getting the second stage here is already like pretty much 2 hooks away from this win condition, and killing, as I like to call it. And pretty much, oof, knowing the win condition, it's like feels unlosable, but maybe we can see some kind of miracle play come in for Sadness. Because, yeah, look at this. Like, a Stalk's coming in fairly high for pretty much all the survivors in the trial. And that's... Oh, Dragon Slip as well. Forcing the insta down. And that's going to secure a tie condition at 3 generators remaining. So I feel like it's just going to be the L for Sadness here.
Oh no, that survivor was a little bit out of position as well. We see Ace in the background who's already 50% progressed on the Ghostface power. It looks like we're going to be 100 very, very soon. And that's a nice call by Freya. Just get the 99, just secure the power there. But we actually get out of it as well. We get out of it early, which is not something you often see. So we're actually able to proc ourselves early, get the recharge coming back, and force ourselves to play around these options. But very, very nice game from Freya. Already, as you said, at the Tycon, is definitely going to be able to walk away with the win this game, especially as Yano just gets hit here with the expose. So we will be able to force some very, very early down, and that is going to be the next hook. And this will be the 2-0 towards Leopard, and that was honestly an absolutely fantastic display of skill, especially in the Ghostface set. 3-stage against the Ghostface, very, very difficult. The fact that they're able to come out with that is a very strong result.
Yeah, and partially thanks to Wienerfeld's indecision, but partially because our survivors just managed to like maybe just psych him out or something, because it's just kind of just coming from that start again. Like, you would expect there to be 4K, you know, down in like 30 seconds is ridiculous, but it just somehow just spiraled out of control, and Wienerfeld did not manage to down anyone for like another 2 generators, and then, yeah, I don't know, the trial went south from there, but yeah, Leopard take 2-0. A little bit of a surprise coming in from the tipping side, where we might see a couple of contestants or participants lose a bit on the tipping, but hey, Leopard. Well played, Leopard.
No, you're exactly right. And honestly, that's exactly what you want to see as well. You want to see people going out on a limb on the tipping. You want to see them try and, you know, maybe predict a set that maybe won't end up happening. Maybe go for the 2-1 split. Maybe go for the team who is the underdog. And honestly, sometimes it can pay off. Unfortunately, today, though, won't be one of those days. As we see, oh my God, that barely hit. We see that down onto Winterfell there. Very, very lucky from Freya. Able to just, oh no, we're going for the double vault. Oh, it's so unfortunate. And we've been seen doing it as well. And that will be another hook stage here. So that's just going to even confirm more our win. And honestly, we might be seeing a 4K here. It is definitely possible, as this is going to be Winterfell's first hook. So very, very well played to Leopard. Just absolutely fantastic. And that will take them, I believe, let me just have a look. That will take them to 2-1. They did lose to Resurrection, but now they have won against Synergy and both Sadness.
Yeah, they have 4 set points, which I think is a really, really good amount. But two wins out of the 3, which very solid result. Just might pose a little bit of an issue later on in their group stage bracket, because their spot in the group stage finals might be under a bit of contention if they do lose the remaining game that they have. But yeah, in any case, they've taken over Sadness, which I think is going to be sad for some of the Sadness fans, and I've said that 3 times now, past 5 seconds, but not really too much to say about ZCF tonight, because yeah, Leopard just really putting on a good show. So I'd like to see a bit more Sadness, because they are returning from a little bit of a dormant sleep, and I'd like to see a little bit of a step up in performance, perhaps next week, because I know they are capable of performing very well against some of the teams. Like season 1, I do remember they did even managed to like take away like a doctor set or like 2 sets away against Skirmish, which is very impressive. So to keep up the work, and it should probably get there.
Okay, looks like we are going to be hiding in a very strange position here, waiting for the survivors to make a bit of a mistake and come back on the generator. Oh my God, we're actually committing to it as well. This will be huge if we're able to commit to the bit. Would love to see it. Hopefully we can find a survivor a little bit out of position. Would love to see him stealth here as well. And finally, Ghostface just sitting there. Can we find a survivor who will be rotating to that gen? We do see out who will be continuing to work on it. Oh no, we know. We know. We're switched on. Winterfell is absolutely switched on for this one. There's a very unfortunate stealth.
Yeah, it's just so funny. One of the funniest things that I know of is like when you think like or when somebody thinks that they're not being observed, but then they're actually like secretly being observed, and then, like this fail moment is like a perfect example of like you see them like just like tuck away in that little exit gate corner and like pretend that he's not there, do a little bit of the insidious kind of mind game, and then Winterfell just standing there looking at him, just like. Oh hell no! You tried that against us? Come on, man! Come on, man! Get some respect then. I gotta give it to Freya for trying that, but unfortunately it didn't work. So yeah, I had a good laugh about that because I don't think Freya knew that he was being observed there, and then boop! Here comes a little bit of an ace Visconti to stop that play.
Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't work. When it does, it's huge. But today is not one of those days. And we do see the reset does come in the background. These gens are very, very close. I assume we are going to see a 4K one just based on how close these generators are. We do go into our stealth mode once again as we're going to try and find a survivor who will be going onto the gen at the wrong time. So it will be a little bit awkward if that happens. But Freya playing very, very stealthily this game. And I think that's absolutely fine as well, considering that you're so far ahead. You've already secured the win con. Might as well just play a little bit fun. Play a little bit wacky. See how you go. And force some extra stages out. But Freya hopefully going to be able to do something that normally wouldn't work, but hopefully go a little crazy. See the stealth coming from behind and see what we can do here. But we do find the generator is getting progressed. Oh no, someone's seen them actually. I don't think it was Nea. I think it was our ace that saw that. But we do find the survivors who possibly might be giving an M1 here. But my god, they are just absolutely pumping these generators.
Yeah, they are, and first starting to get slightly squished here on the Larry's Memorial Institute. We'll commit though to Winterfell, maybe a little bit of the ego chase coming in. Noticing that little, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe just wants Winterfell gone from the trial, and no, it's actually going to be the breakout for Winterfell. I just realized, yeah, Winterfell was 50% stalk, so securing it down onto him would have been much easier than potentially Ayato or Posey, who did have the full bar to go with. So yeah, now Winterfell's 99 though, I think he's gonna be going down, but not before the final gen pops. Surely he doesn't last here. Like surely he can't. Surely the eruption comes in. It does come in, but I don't think Freya can head back in time, so he might just be forced to pick up and go. But it seems like no, he's trying to head back and reposition and rotate to try and cut off this exit gate and generator from being completed. And I don't think he'll be there in time. Just my internal instincts say that he won't, but he actually does get there before the gen pops, so I guess I'm wrong. And wow, they actually abandoned the generator to rotate for the pull. So yeah, this standoff's gonna last for a bit longer, Starsy. It's technically already over already.
Yeah, we do see the reset coming in on the background though, so the survivors are not wasting any time at all in making sure that Freya is punished for any mistake that they make, and that is exactly what you want here. Playing very, very well, playing very, very aggressively for the final gen proc, as well as Freya will be looking for the 4K one. Unfortunately, though, I don't think we're going to be able to get it here as we're stealthing around. And oh no, we're still. Oh, this is very, very awkward. Oh my god. Oh no, this is horrible. This is horrible. No, oh my god. We've been found. That's horrible. Oh my god.
Oh man, it brings me back to the point I was just talking about before, where it's so funny to see a person who thinks they're not being observed. It's so funny to just observe someone who is in that mindset, and you can just see them take like, oh, is he here? Is he here? He gets exposed, boom, he goes down. Oh, that's just hilarious, man. Makes my day / night better. Oh man, I gotta have a good laugh. Yes! Yes!
Oh my god. happened 2 times in the span of like 30 seconds. Jesus, we are really working our way towards that 4K one at this point. This is just absolutely mental. Don't think we'll be doubling a generator. No, we won't. We are going to be looking for this Ghostface who will be coming in. We're back on it, but unfortunately, this is going to be a very difficult one to complete as we continue the chase on to Posey here, who's hopefully going to be able to do something a little bit clutch as we actually find a pretty safe pallet here.
I mean, it's fairly safe. It's very, very difficult to play cross ping with the crashing being available to the Ghostface, but it does force a break anyway. As maybe Freya's getting a little bit tired of playing the stand. Prefer to play maybe a little bit of a different 50-50, which will eventually win. So, yeah, Freya's got to secure the second kill as this generator is actually going to pop. So, just secure the second kill and like something close to like 9 stages in the trial, which it's fairly solid performance. You know, single digit still, but close to that double digit mark as that final gen does pop. A lot of us could think about getting some stages out the door. I believe Nia is only being hooked once, so it'll be worth slightly more. And that would mean that Winterfell is, of course, playing aggressive on the gate. But oh my god, no, he's been found! A Yato! That was unfortunate timing there.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes it's just not going to work. When it does, it's huge, but when it doesn't, it is a massive detriment. Ayato will be taking possibly the last chase here as Winterfell might get out. And hopefully we're able to go down near the corner or something. We do have a resource available to us. This stun is huge. That will get some stages out the door most likely. But no, Freya will be heading back here, seeing if we can catch Winterfell out of position, and we might be able to. I'm not sure whether this is actually the door that we're heading to, but no, it is. This might be the down, but no, it's just gonna be out here, and we're gonna see the respect from the ghost face, and this is going to be the out. Yeah, okay, no, we're not. We're actually gonna see the down. Unfortunately, kind of took advantage there as we see Freya. Freya will be taking the hook. That's so rude. As we take the hook there, and that will be the death of the survivor, possibly fighting for the 4K. But Ayato we'll be trying to see if we can sneak our way out of the exit gates here, and I think if we run for it, actually, we might be able to make it out. If we just kind of dip and go as fast as we can.
And I think they make it now. Yeah, look at that. They're just right near this gate, and that's going to secure, I believe, 10 stages for Sadness. Yeah, they have enough distance. Yeah, 10 stages. I mean, they have enough distance, actually. Point tech? No point tech? No tenacity? No! 10 stages. Oh, GG's. Look, Winterfell, I guess, got mind game there, but it's really not going to make too much of a difference. So, yeah, GG's. Leopard takeaway, I would have to say a little bit more of a surprising 2-0 after this Ghostface set, but that's going to put Leopard in, pretty favorable conditions as we were talking about before. 4 group stage points is quite a good amount to start here, but yeah, apart from that, that's it for the sets today. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Leopard will be walking out 2-1, and Sadness will be 1-1 after these games. Of course, Sadness won against Echo and have lost against Leopard, and now Leopard have lost against Resurrection, but won against Synergy and Sadness. So great game, guys. We will be seeing you guys tomorrow. I believe we do have quite a few sets tomorrow. If I actually check the tipping channel, we will have the Zetsubo vs Freddo, which will be a Sunday 7:30, and Void vs Requiem, which will be at 9. So make sure to stick around for those guys as they will be streamed tomorrow. So very, very exciting games. But if one of our lovely mods would like to drop the ! Discord into the Twitch chat, we will be hopefully seeing some more community members jump in. Remember, we are very excited to have you, so make sure to jump in and join the community because we are just going up from here. It is very, very exciting, and so many big tournaments coming out right now. I mean, 20-team tournament just isn't something that would have been feasible only last year, really. So the fact that we're able to pull it out this year is just absolutely fantastic. Massive shout out to everyone, and hopefully we'll be chucking out our raid. But much love. See you guys tomorrow, and make sure to stick around for more OSL comp. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye.